Loud music is playing all around and someone's phone keeps ringing, but the guy is busy out with the girl. He can't hear the phone ringing because of the loud music. After a while, he broke the and looked at the girl with eyes and said, Hoseok. Can he continue this to the bedroom? The girl smirked and shook her head. He smirked back and said, Hoseok, wait a minute. Saying that, he took his phone out of his pocket to call someone, but his eyes winded when he saw his father call him 12 times. Hoseok, I'm going to die today. Saying this, he was about to leave, but the girl held his hand and asked the girl, Why do you go, Hoseok? Sorry, baby, I have to go now. Saying this, he ran away from there. Meanwhile, Mr. Jung angrily put the phone down on the table with a loud noise. Mr. Lee, did he not pick up the phone? He closed his eyes and held his head with both hands before answering. Mr. Jung, Mr. Lee, I don't know what I will do with him. I don't stop him from doing anything after his mother's death. That's why he became like this. Now I am worried about his future. He said it with a heavy scent. Mr. Lee, but what about that thing you thought for him? Mr. Jung put down his hand and looked at Mr. Lee. Mr. Jung, do you think he will accept it? Mr. Lee, I don't think he will accept that easily. Mr. Jung nodded. Mr. Lee, so what do you do now? When Mr. Jung was about to say something, Hoseok rushed into the room and said something while panting heavily. Hoseok, sorry Dad, I didn't notice that you called me so many times. Before he could finish his word, his father stopped him with his palm. After that, he stood in a corner without saying anything. His father signed to Mr. Lee and asked him to leave. He nodded his head and left from there. After Mr. Lee left, he looked at Hoseok and called him, Mr. Jung. Hoseok, come here. Hoseok nervously approached his dad. The wedding hall filled with clapping sound when the priest announced that they are now officially husband and wife. Everyone is cheering, but the groom looks at the bride angrily. But she stands there with an emotionless face. Mr. Jung approached them and said, Mr. Jung, Hoseok and Wayne, you both go home and take rest. Hearing that Hoseok was about to leave, but his father stopped him. Mr. Jung, Hoseok, where are you going? Hoseok looked at his dad in confused. Hoseok, you just said to go home. Mr. Jung, yes, but I didn't say you will go alone. Take Wine with you. Hoseok, why? Can't she came by herself? Saying this, he glaring at Wine before left. Mr. Jung, Wine, please don't mind his words. You know how he is. Wine, it's okay, Mr. Jung. I can understand. Mr. Jung, why did you call me Mr. Jung? Call me Dad. Wine smiled and shook her head. Mr. Jung, go now, otherwise he will get angry again. She said goodbye and left. Wayne arrived at the parking area and saw Hoseok sitting in the driving seat with an angry face. Wayne sat in the back seat without saying anything. Then Hoseok looked at her through the mirror and started to think. Hoseok, poof. This orphan girl, did you think that if you marry a millionaire's son, then you will too become a millionaire? In your dreams. Just wait and watch. How will I make your life a hell? As he was thinking, when Wayne looked at him and said, Wayne, do you want to stay here all night? Cold tone. Hearing this, Hoseok looked ahead and started the car. Then Wayne leaned on the window of the car and looked outside. Wayne is an orphan girl. Her father died when she was in her mother's womb, and her mother died when she was 6 years old. After that, she stayed in an orphanage. It was Hoseok's father's orphanage. Mr. Jung liked Wayne very much because she was very smart from the childhood. She didn't talk much, but she noticed everything, the thing he liked the most about Wayne. After some time, Hoseok stopped the car in front of his house. When he turned back, he saw that Wayne was sleeping. Hoseok, how can she sleep peacefully by ruining my life? Saying this, he angrily pressed the horn. Wayne woke up due to this sound. Hoseok, hey Miss Orphan Girl, get off my car. Wayne looked at him with a confused look and asked, Wayne, why? Hoseok, what do you mean? Do you want to stay in the car all night? Wen looked around and saw that they had reached home. So Wen got down from the car and stood in a corner. Hoseok started the car after Wen gets off and leaves when he hears a text pop sound. He saw that his father had sent him a message. In the message, he says, Hoseok, don't you dare go out tonight, otherwise you know what could happen. After reading the message, Hoseok angrily got out of the car and went inside, and Wen also went after him. But there was someone else who was watching their every movement from a distance. Other side, Mr. Jung put his phone in his pocket and looked out the window. When Mr. Lee said, Mr. Lee, don't you feel like you are being too harsh on Hoseok this past 1 week? Mr. Jung, I know, but it's about my son's life, and for that I can do everything. Mr. Lee, but are you sure it will work? Mr. Jung, yes, I believe it will definitely work. Meanwhile, when he entered the house, he was about to go upstairs, but he suddenly stopped and looked at Wayne. Hoseok. Hey Orphan girl, you are not allowed to coming upstairs, and I don't want to see your face, so stay away from me. Saying this, he went to his room. After he left, Wayne looked at the large picture of Hoseok that hung on the wall. Wayne, Jung Hoseok. She said this with a smear